Welcome back to Unstable. I am Jeff Steckel, aka Big Steck. We are in our 38th episode after a really tough, controversial loss to the Texans in Houston. We'll get into that, but first, make sure you like, share, subscribe. As always, we appreciate all the support. We have a subscription goal of 100. Please help us hit it. We really appreciate it. Modest like goal. You're already here. Hit the button. I'm just looking for 10. Help us out. With me, as always, is Justin, Kingmaker_DFF, your fantasy go-to guy. How are you doing, man?
All doing pretty good. I'm with you, though. Just a little agitated, but we can get into that.
Very. Yeah, I watched a little bit of the boys over at Third and Teal, and they're in the same boat, man. Agitated, angry, frustrated. It's a mixed bag, man. And we're gonna get right into it. But the first thing I want to do is throw a little bit of. We were both at NRG, the fans, Houston fans. There was no fighting, no nothing. It was very cordial. I actually was walking around tailgates. I was offered food. Like it was
very nice
cool.
fans.
Yeah. Like it was good stuff, man. There was no fights, no brawls, no, a little bit of smack
shout
talking.
Out to the Texans fans for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It was even after the game, man. Handshaking, whatever. Just nothing belligerent. So, I'm going to do a shout out to the Texans. It's always a fun time. And I appreciate it. Y'all are, you talk your smack and I can appreciate that, but it's nothing, you're not beating the crap out of anybody like over, those Dallas fans. They like to, they get butthurt because their team sucks, but
but
no, y'all are good
fans
hosts.
Historically are pretty bad fans. You can come at me if you want. I don't care. I'll stand my ground on that.
Yeah, I haven't been to a game up there, and I don't know. I probably will at some point, but I don't like the Cowboys.
When the Colts play Dallas, I'll go.
I want to. It's just, man, I already know how it's going to be. I don't feel like getting to a brawl, man. No, I'm sure.
I have a custom made jersey that has my name on the back of it, and it says 01 on it. And it's the same color as this though. But I've had lots of Cowboys fans like, oh, go Cowboys. Yeah. You're a Cowboys fan? Like, no, I don't understand where you get that from. But so I think we blend in if we wore like our white jerseys or something like that, we blend in. So I think we'd be safe. Maybe not linger around too far.
I don't remember Manning ever playing for the Cowboys.
Man. Was he a defensive back? I don't know.
Yeah. I had to ditch that old school shirt that I was wearing to the game. They got the loss, so I had to wash that loss up. So now I'm sporting my old school Andrew Luck Pro Bowl jersey. I love this thing.
See that.
I've had it for a while.
Yeah,
man.
I decided to throw on the old Marvin Harrison tonight. So
nice.
A lot of love for the legend.
Absolutely. So when we were at the game, it was really nice of the Texans to do, outside of the fans being good hosts. It was really nice of the Texans. There was a Hall of Famer. It was his honorary game to welcome the Colts great Andre Johnson. Into the Hall of Fame, baby. Andre Johnson, and here's a highlight reel of his Hall of Fame career.
This is all, though, about Johnson coming back here and the emotion of him returning to Houston. An NFC title that Hasselbeck played well, too, in that Super Bowl. And here's the pass on the mark to Andre Johnson inside the 10. And Johnson, who had gone catchless the last 2 weeks,
game right here, baby.
Gets a catch here in the opening quarter. They fake to Gore across the middle, back in the end zone. Andre Johnson comes back to Houston.
Texan killer Johnson.
And they roll out and throw for it. They get it with Andre Johnson. This was, of course, different situation into the half tonight, but the pass is pulled in by Andre Johnson.
Only an Indianapolis receiver makes that catch.
The last 2 games without a catch. He had only 1 game in his career with the Texans where he did not have a catch. He came in tonight with back-to-back games, but 4 tonight. That was Chuck's big message. 2nd and 4. It's a hold. And Hasselbeck goes back to Andre Johnson.
Look at this play right here. Oh, boom, got him.
To Andre Johnson, and he takes it across.
Veteran, just savvy veteran.
Colts.
Yeah, that was nice of them to honor the Colts great. Yeah, man.
Absolutely. All bullshit aside, he was a great Texans receiver. Long, great career with Houston. And, they spent the halftime honoring his time with Houston. He's the first player from Houston to make it into the Hall of Fame. I know J.J. Watts might be a little bit pissed off about that, but he played a little bit longer than Andre.
He's right there. He'll be there in a couple of years.
He'll be there. He'll be there.
He's right there.
He's a little bit bitter. He wasn't the first Texan.
I don't. Yeah, but I don't think he can. I don't think he has the right to be bitter. I mean, Andre legitimately has earned it.
Yeah.
I mean, who else has earned it? I think down the road you could say maybe Brian Cushing or something like that, but he had a lot of the steroid issues, so I think that's gonna. He might get Pete Rose. They might hold him out for that.
Maybe,
but I don't know. Yeah, JJ's 100% next. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He's a first ballot. Like, he's a first 5-minute guy.
Oh yeah. As soon as his name hits the ballot, he's gonna get in.
Yeah.
So it's
midnight 01 on his 5th year. Like, okay, call JJ right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but dude, it was
like
cool.
To play around,
cool to see Andre.
We like to play around, but Andre Johnson, of course, one of the greats, honored at halftime. That was really cool to see. I hated playing against him, but it was always good to watch him. You'll never forget that fight that he had with Finnegan. That was something special.
Oh yeah, oh god, dang.
Oh, he just
ragdolled. Finnegan was talking so much crap to him that day, and then Andre he tried to be professional, man. But every man, enough is enough at a certain point.
Oh, man,
I wonder what he said. He had to go personal because Cortland Finnegan was known for talking crap. He had to go personal to make Andre do that, because you've never heard about him being violent like that.
Mm-hmm. But
even
if you're not a Texas fan, man,
right?
you appreciated that fight, man. It was never the Titan, so of course you're going to be like, yeah, whoop his ass, Andre. Yeah, we're game. But so we're gonna get into the game, and there's a lot to dissect with the Colts, and it wasn't pretty a lot of the time, but the first thing I want to talk about, man, is that officiating in this game. I'm a step before you say anything. Oh, you're going to complain about the refs and the loss. The Colts, a lot of the time, didn't play well enough to win. They made a lot of mistakes. But, man, I'm a strong not relying on the refs to help you win a game. Like, you're not relying on those defensive pass interferences. You're not relying, oh, well, he should be second and 20. Like, I'm not for that. But when a ref is actively taking
let the boys play mentality, yeah.
I'm sorry, that pass interference on Alec Pierce, bullshit. I'm saying right now is total bullshit. I'm sorry that your fucking defenders ran into each other. That's not our problem. They got tangled up.
It happens in routes. It's not like he sat there and was setting a pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the design of that to make that call in that situation is if Pittman was setting a pick. He wasn't setting a pick. It's not interference.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even looking that direction. It was a legit accident. They ran into each other. Shit happens like that.
Happens all the time.
I don't know what's
all the time. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. When defenders take each other out, who are you going to call pass interference on? It certainly isn't the guy that was just running his route. He didn't even make contact with anybody. That didn't make any sense. It was a bullshit
It was
call.
good to see Steichen ran. He was like halfway to the official, and he was pissed.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that Shane got pissed about that.
Yeah.
He hasn't done a lot of things that make me proud, but I was proud of that.
Even in this game, I was very proud of what he did. And, we'll get into that. There was a lot of mistakes, a lot of questionable calls from him. There was another play that it kind of it reminded me of, I think it was Naked Gun, Wesley Nielsen, when he was became an umpire in a game. It's an old movie. I don't remember the whole setup to the scene, but he's standing behind home plate. The pitch comes in, and the crowd is strike, and the crowd goes crazy. So there was a play where the Colts were flagged for defensive pass interference. Like, the play happened. It's kind of bang, bang, whatever. We were up in the nosebleeds. I couldn't really, whatever. But the ref is just, the receiver gets up, complains like, receivers do. And they start walking back to the huddle. And then the flag comes in. Like, either it did or it didn't. Like, if you saw it happen.
Yeah, you've got like 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, you can't throw that flag. You're done.
Like, dude, there was such a delay on that flag. I'll call bull crap on that one too. I'm just saying.
Well, he had to check his notes. He's like, oh, the NFL script says I'm supposed to throw a flag here. Let me throw a flag real quick.
Let's throw that flag. And I'm going to say Quentin Nelson didn't have his best game. I mean, he had a few false starts in it. I think the third false start, because they just got a turnover. And I will say, I think this is the only call that the refs really got right in this game. Was there was that big turnover that they returned for a touchdown, called it back. I think he was down. Like a lot of Colts fans are up in arms about that. We got robbed of that touchdown too. I think that was one of the calls the refs got right. Like I'm actually surprised they let it play
sucked. Right. Yeah.
It sucked, but
and I was telling. So my wife was with me, and she was very upset about that too, because she was like, "Oh no, he was fine. It's a touchdown, whatever." But so the situation is as he was cradling the ball, he was touched going down, right? And I was trying to explain it, and it was a couple other Colts fans too, like you said, they were all pissed off, right? Mm-hmm. But if he didn't have possession of that ball and then grabbed it and got up to it, then yes, it's a touchdown. But because he technically had possession and they touched him on the way down, it's a tackle and he's down there.
Yeah.
Like, I was excited, but after I watched, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, he was there. Like that was, in my opinion, like the one call that they got right. But that ensuing possession on the next play, Quentin Nelson was called for his third false start. And my issue with that is I don't think they even got set yet.
They weren't.
It seemed like they were. Yeah. I did not understand. Like they're coming up to the line, they're doing their, their pre-snap, whatever it is that they're doing before they get into their stance. And as they're getting into their stance, false start. They didn't even get set yet. Like, what are we even talking about here? So, first and 15. We gotta push him back a little bit. But aside from all that, because I will complain about refs throughout a game. I just won't talk about it on here because you don't rely on the refs.
I feel like nothing changes though. Like they're not held accountable.
No. Like
even if if it's a very obvious bad call, they're not going to be held accountable no matter what anyway. They're just going to be out there next day doing the same shit. Like they get. I want to see them get fined like players get fined.
Well, they get a grading, and we don't know about all this, but they get a grading based on calls that they get right or missed calls, stuff like that, or calls that they make that were incorrect, and that all comes down to like playoff spots where, of course, they make more money, and then the best graded officials do the Super Bowl. So there is kind of a punishment, and we just don't know much about it, but it's there.
Yeah.
But still, man, you just want a little more accountability because. Again, that offensive pass interference was he was wide open way after they all tripped down and fell. And the flag came in.
It negated the touchdown that would have changed the momentum of the game.
Like, and I'm standing here, he caught the touchdown, and then the flag flies in. I'm like, they ran into each other like 5 seconds before he got to the pylon. Like this, it was trash. Like, and the only other time that I
wonder, like, what if he didn't catch that pass? Would he still throw the flag?
That's what and the only other time that I've come onto this podcast or this AFC South show and actively complained about the refs was with that Browns game last season. That's the only other time I've come on here and bitched about the refs because, again, they directly changed the outcome of that game and took the Colts out of it. They called pass interference when the receiver barreled into their own wide receiver. Like, they called him for pass interference when they weren't even 5 yards. He got ran over by the wide receiver.
Yeah.
It was an incomplete pass, but they called pass interference on the next one, way over his head.
Yeah.
Into another stadium.
Referees your job is not to change the outcome of a game, right? Because I don't know. I feel like a broken record, but that's not your job. At a certain point, sometimes you just got to let the boys play, right?
If it's egregious.
As a great Coach Herman Boone would say,
let him play. Let the boys play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if it's an egregious holding, like if they're doing like a choke hold and tackling you to the ground, of course you're going to call that holding. There's holding on every single play.
Him, man. He ran into him.
They ran into each other. Like what?
Right.
It's like
and he wasn't even looking at. That's my thing. Is the replay show? He wasn't even looking at that receiver. That's how you know it was a pure accident.
Yeah.
Like,
and there was the Niners Cowboys game. Where I think it was not Debo. It was a Cowboys receiver. Feet got tangled up. Both went to the ground. And they didn't call it pass interference, and they shouldn't have. And I think it was the only time Chris Collinsworth had gotten anything right. Like, their feet did get tangled. It was a great no call. But, of course, Dallas fans are, it's pass interference. I've seen 78 reels about it. It wasn't. Their feet got tangled. Yeah. But, if it was the Colts, they'd have called that interference. So, whatever.
Yeah.
That's enough bitching about the refs. So we need to get down to business, man. And it's we need to get into AR. I want to save the positives for last, and I don't think there was a whole lot of positive in this game with Anthony Richardson. He finished the first half 2 for 15. And just a stat that I saw, AR out of 225 quarterbacks with 250 dropbacks, AR is 222nd in completion rate. So he's behind Jamarcus Russell. He's behind Ryan Leaf. He's behind Curtis Painter. I think the only ones, the three behind him were Tim Tebow, like McMahon. I can't remember the other one, but it's bad. It's really, really bad. And saying that it's only his 10th game, he says, y'all need to chill. It's my 10th game. You know, we're allowed, like Justin said before the show, we're allowed to say that. You don't go into a presser and say that, dude.
Right. You don't give yourself a pass. You're the player. Your job is to compete 100% of the time, never show weakness, never want to leave the game or anything like that. We can tell the fans, oh, calm down. He's only got 10 games. Like it's okay. Like you don't do that. You don't give yourself that out. You don't have an out. Your job is to go out there and do everything you possibly can to win and develop.
Yep. There's a reason that you were voted by the players, by your teammates, and you have that C on your jersey.
Yeah. That means something.
You go
that
in there and you take you take that accountability. You take that responsibility. You are the leader of this team. Outside of Steichen and Ballard and Irsay, and they'll do their dance. They'll say, man, my play calling was shit. I didn't call the right plays. I didn't call the right defenses. They'll go to bat for their players. But when you're up there saying, man, you need to chill. It's only my 10th game. You're getting, I think he's on like a $30 million rookie contract. And I think as fans that buy the tickets, that pay for the thing, that support, without us, there's no football. There's no $30 million contract. There's none of this shit. So we're allowed to be critical. And
right.
And I'm sorry, like I would have defended that sentence if during the damn game on a third down. Hold on, let me look at Anthony Richardson. He rushed for 45 yards in this game. In the third quarter. I'm tired, coach. I'm tired. I remember when I played baseball in high school and we were doing fucking horses because it was storming outside and we were getting punished for some stupid BS. And I was like, man, I'm tired. I need a glass of water. Do you know what my coach did? Made my ass run even harder. It's craziness. When you come out of a game and you take yourself out and say, coach, I'm tired. I need a sip of water and a little nappy. You know what he tells you? Well, sit your fucking ass on the bench the rest of the game. That's what happens. Let's see.
Happened to me in junior high. I mean, dude was irate. Don't take yourself out of the game. You just talked about having that C on your jersey. That means under no circumstances are you allowed to show weakness. You have to be one of the toughest and one of the most durable and committed guys on that team when you have that C on your jersey. When you ask to come out, I'm sorry, dude. Like, take that C off your jersey. You haven't earned that no more. No,
it's that I can't come up with an excuse for that. Like, I'm not on the field. I know it's a physical game. I understand it. As a fan who can't go out there and do that, like I am not physically capable of doing that in the thing. But you go out there, you're an athlete that's paid very well to throw the ball, and he is a running mobile quarterback. So those are the things that you get paid to do.
The safest position in football. Well, second outside of a kicker,
like
but
the most protected.
And you're one of the safest. Yes, exactly. It's not like we have the Texans offensive line. We have one of the top 4 offensive lines in football. Of course, it didn't show this week, but like, dude, what do you got to complain about? You didn't, like you said, you didn't just run 100 yards or you didn't do shit.
Yeah,
don't ask to come out of the game.
45. Yeah, Jonathan Carey had 20 carries for 105 yards. Did he?
Nope.
No, the play calling took him out of the game at times, but. No, I didn't see you. Don't see Quentin Nelson. I'm tired, coach. I've never seen it.
And after the game, I mean, the linemen, the offensive and defensive linemen should be the most tired individuals on the field, right? Those guys are having a car crash every play. Okay, if they're not wanting to come out of the game, you shouldn't. Our
boy Andrew Luck, he had that car crash accident on the field. He lacerates his fucking kidney. Next play, he throws a touchdown.
Yeah,
I'm out, coach. Like,
yeah, Anthony, you need to reevaluate yourself. I get it, man. You're young and shit ain't going your way. All right, but that's fucking
nah.
life, bro.
Like,
And the NFL is not going to be kind to you. You
mm-mm.
need to go. You got a guy like Joe Flacco over there. Go talk to him. He's had a lot of times where shit didn't go his way. He didn't give up. He ended up taking his team to a Super Bowl. All right, the guy knows
40.
something. Go talk to him.
Of course, things haven't gone right in his life. Like, there's been really bad games in his career. He's 40.
Yeah.
How
But
does this?
yeah, dude, I'm losing. Richardson's losing me. I mean, not that he cares about me because I'm a nobody, but
yeah,
bro, if I feel that way, I guarantee there's other people feeling the same way too.
I can almost guarantee he's not one of our 69 subscribers. And again, I want to get to 100, but I'm kind of. It's a funny number to be at. How many do he? 69, but yeah, I doubt he's one of them. Let's see. Alex from Chaotically Intolerant commented, "What's up, boys? Heard Rex Ryan say on Get Up today that Ballard has been forcing Shane Steichen to start AR over Flacco. Thoughts?"
I mean, Alex, I can see that because, I mean, you did make that big investment in him, that pick. I mean, yeah, there's no dollar amount on that, but thinking about the players that you could have got instead of him, that is an investment. So, yeah, I mean, it sucks because we want to win, right? From the business standpoint, Ballard is it's a business move, and half of me gets it in the developmental side and the business side. The other half who wants to win and watch the boys go out there and have fun winning doesn't get it. So, nah, Alex, I'm with you. It sucks, but Ballard's it's just a business move. But I don't think that's going to last long. I mean, the fans' voice is undefeated. The fans have gotten players benched. The fans have gotten coaches fired. I mean, so they're only going to take so much of this crap. And if Anthony can't, if he can't show that, hey, I can be the guy, right? Because we talked about it's going to take a while to see if he is the guy. But at a certain point, you realize, like, fuck, he ain't the guy, then you have to shift gears. I think give it a couple years, see what 2026 draft has for you and how he's developed at that point, and then we go from there. That's just my thought. What do you think, Jed?
I want to say it's got to be a lot of a business decision. Like you picked him fourth. You're trying to prove that your pick was worth it. And every single game, it seems like there's some serious regression in this. Like you can talk about the end of the first half. And I was up in the rafters. I had my head in my hat, as I know this is about to end in disaster. And I think they ran it with JT, had a decent gain, but there's still not enough time to really get going. Again, AR was 2 for 15. Why in the fuck are you calling a pass play, putting your guy who's 2 of 15 and saying, we're going to try to march a 40-second drive down? Let's just go in at halftime. At this point, with how bad it's been, it's tied. That's a blessing. And you get the ball to start the second half. Take it into the half, regroup, get the ball to start.
Yeah.
And instead, they come out, he throws basically a pick six. It wasn't, but it was like the next play was a touchdown. So it was basically a pick six. And it was a shitty throw. It was an ill-advised throw. Should have thrown it away. He tried to force something that wasn't there, and it was a bad throw. And it's
well,
hard
that decision is just as much on Shane Steichen as it is Anthony Richardson, I think, because like you said, go into the half, you're getting the ball back. If you're not anywhere near field goal range, run it out. If anything, anything under a minute like that, if you're far enough back and you say, okay, shit ain't really going our way this half, right? And we're tied, like you said, tied. Bro, take that. Because the way the Texas defense played, that's a win at that point. Yeah. The way their defense played, the way our offense played, I can't say the whole offense, man. Our offensive line was grinding. They were down there trying.
If you're down like 24 points, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Go for it. Like I'd be okay with it. But you have a tie game on the road with the ball to start the second half. At this point, a tie game is a win. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see. This also smells of Irsay pressuring Ballard to win now. versus developing AR with patience. Well, I feel like if they were in win now mode, we would have seen Joe Flacco. It's especially that
At this
again,
point,
if we were going to go for
winning's out the window.
if
You're
we were
not
going to
winning the division. So
if we were going to go for it at the end of that first half there, I feel like Flacco would have been the guy. Like this is leaving AR out there is not the win now. It isn't. They conceded this game to the Texans and said, you know what? This is a developmental year. So I feel like at this point, I guess to answer the question before, I feel like at this point it's a developmental year. Get him the reps, have him play as many snaps, as much time as he can, and just see what you got in him. Because again, you got the 2025 draft coming up, and then Arch in the 2020. Is he coming out in the 2026 draft?
Yeah, he's only a sophomore right now, so he's got to at least play next year. So he'll be eligible 26. Because Quinn Ewers is coming out this year, so that's going to leave Arch to play next year, and if he stays, 26. But I mean, we're starting to see a lot of quarterbacks only play, one season, maybe 2 seasons before they go pro as upperclassmen. So, and I mean upperclassmen as far as juniors and higher, right? You get your 1 year, you did well, okay, I'm coming out, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're doing developmental this year, I mean, you've got the next 2 games are not going to be easy for Anthony Richardson. He's going to get his ass beat. He's got 2 defenses that are fucking killers right now, the Vikings and the Bills. Do you want to put him through that? Those 2 defenses are going to kill his confidence.
Again,
what he has right now.
If it's a developmental year, then yeah, you want him to go against the best, and you want to try to bring out the best in him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably not going to be pretty.
Nobody gets hurt, you know what I mean?
I am dreading Sunday Night Football. This might be one of those games that Colts mess because they've been pretty terrible, and then they'll beat the Chiefs. They were not great last year, iffy with Minshew. They beat Baltimore in Baltimore. Like it seems like they step up and they play much better against teams where it's like, maybe they shouldn't. We are looking for some revenge because man, we were stomping the shit out of the Vikings. What was it last year? And then they had the big, one of the biggest comebacks in NFL history.
Ever.
Like I'm sorry, I'm even talking about that. But maybe there's a little chip on the Colts' shoulder from that one. Maybe it's a game they mess around and win. You never know. I wouldn't. If I were a betting man, I wouldn't put money on it.
I don't think Anthony Richardson gives a shit, but I don't know. The coaching staff definitely remembers it. We got everything back. Yeah, exactly. We got everybody back. Everybody who was there last year knows. So, I mean, I'm with you, dude. I think there should be some vengeance to be had, some revenge.
But then
again, the Vikings are better now than they were last year. So,
at the end of this game, there was a lot of drop passes. There was a lot of drop passes, 6 or 7. They were calls, but it's like even Pittman didn't seem to be in this game that much. Like I remember he went to Pittman deep. It was a goal line shot, and Pittman's running down the field, and the ball lands right next to him, and he never even looked for it. Like there's just
that's what I was screaming. I was like, dude, he didn't even see it. He didn't even know the pass was coming to him.
But it's
like, oh my gosh,
you should look.
That was aggravating.
There was a lot of aggravation in this game. Mallory dropped one. Goodson dropped a shot to the end zone. Adonai Mitchell almost had his touchdown, but he was just out of bounds. Yeah. Josh Downs was really the only receiver that seemed like he gave a fuck in this game. And I'm not saying Mitchell didn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm as I've protested on this show plenty of times. I'm a big Will Mallory guy. Love Will Mallory, but he's not doing anything to help me and to help his case. So I think I've got to step back on Will Mallory. But the Colts aren't really even using any tight ends at all.
Mm-mm.
And I don't understand that. You see the man struggling. You don't help him out.
Yeah.
In today's game, that's what the tight end is for, is your security blanket.
Yeah, just a little safe, little dunk-offs, little passes. Yeah. And,
what the fuck, man?
Anthony Richardson did have some good passes in the game. And there was a few that should have been caught. So a guy that's struggling.
Yeah.
struggling. You got to help him out, man. 6 to 7 drops in this game is pretty atrocious, and it's not like they were really shutting down the Colts either. Like Jonathan Taylor was effective on the ground. He got stuffed a few times, but it happens every game. He averaged over 5 yards a carry, had a touchdown. Like, he had a good game, and at times it's like they were just pass, punt. Like, again, the play calling was really frustrating, and I think Alex even asked that, still asking AR to do too much. Yeah, it's wild that they drafted this guy as a freak athlete, and he's dropping back 32 times a game, and he's rushing 6 times. And I agree to be smart about those rushes, but it's wild that this dude's dropping back 30 times in a 3-point game. It's just
something that I was kind of noticing is he's a strong runner, which we knew that, right? But on the design runs, he does okay. So am I crazy to think, like, if he's not showing you he's a capable passer right now, should we run him more? I know that opens up a huge opportunity for injury. I get that, right? But if you're wanting to get yards and points, maybe that's the way you need to use him, because his arm ain't getting it done.
Yeah.
I mean, am I crazy?
I do think that they are passing way too much with him. Like, he has too many dropbacks, design quarterback passes in the pocket, and it's just he's not a pocket passer.
Right.
Everybody says
for that yet.
He's got 10 NFL games 10 NFL starts under his belt. He's not going to be a pocket passer. He's not going to come out and be Josh Allen or Joe Burrow in the pocket. He's just not going to be. He's like Josh Allen's a good runner. He's more of that type of quarterback right now and not a passer. So I don't understand. I don't like Alex said, I don't know if they're just like trying to make him look bad to, kind of throw Ballard under the bus. I'm not really sure if there's, politics going on right now between coaching and management of this team, but it's just,
well, I don't know if Steichen knows it or not, but he'll get fired before Ballard will.
I don't know, man.
So you don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, we're talking about a 2-year coach versus 7-8 year GM who never won division.
No, but he's made some good roster moves. And as a GM, I think that's your main job, is like to build the team and then bring in the coach that can run that team or can manage those players. I don't disagree with the players he's brought in. The guys he's brought in are good players. Making that trade for Buckner, that was good. I didn't see why at that time. And then after a while, I opened it up. I'm like, okay, now I see, drafting Richardson, but I feel like that was the chalk play. Like, he was the guy you take there. So
I don't know, man. I don't know if you take, I understood why the Colts did it. They were on a veteran quarterback carousel that obviously wasn't working. They had one of their best years with, since Andrew Luck without Phillip Rivers. And since then, it's been Matt Ryan disaster. Wentz wasn't terrible, but that last game against Jacksonville was pretty terrible for everybody. But
yeah,
it's just, we wanted to get off it. They wanted to get young. They wanted to get athletic. They feel that these rushing mobile quarterbacks are the future of the NFL. But if you actually look at it, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he's not a run first quarterback. Josh Allen isn't really a run first. Joe Burrow isn't.
They're just
Lamar
super
Jackson
athletic.
is.
I mean, that's all they're.
Lamar Jackson's like 50-50, I guess, but even he's becoming a little bit better of a passer, in my opinion, and it helps to have Derrick Henry. But
if you don't have to, you don't run the offense around Richardson. He can't handle that. You just paid Jonathan Taylor. Build it around Jonathan Taylor. Like, that's, you don't have to be in the NFL to know that or to see that, But I don't know if these are talks that they're not having behind the scenes, or they are having and people just aren't absorbing that conversation. But you've got to change something here, because it's not working. I don't know, man. Like, I'm down with developing Richardson. Don't get me wrong. I am, because I want to see if he's going to develop. Because let's not forget, Josh Allen was trash as a passer for his first, year and a half or so. And then he worked on it in the offseason. And I get it, Richardson was still coming back from injury and stuff like that in his offseason. So whatever, fine. We'll give him that excuse for now. But next season, there's no excuse. If you're not hurt, and you're sitting at home playing Xbox and not out there getting better as a passer, then that's on you, bro. Then I'm not going to make excuses for you. I want to see you do all the things that you need to do, not have to do. You need to do to be successful in this league. And if you're not doing that, then bro, I'm out on you. I'm sorry, but I'm still gonna ride with you. Still gonna ride with you. Give you a chance. Let you develop.
I feel like a lot of Colts Nation is, especially after this, and I'm with you on it. But I feel like if healthy, it's going to be Anthony Richardson the rest of the way. I don't see the reason to put Flacco in 4-4. You're 2 games out now of division. You've dropped both to Houston. The chances of you winning even a wild card right now are not great. I mean, it's not impossible. But do we want to make the playoffs? Yeah, but do we really want to see us get bounced in the wild card round too? Not really. So
right. Well, we're 4-4 today, but look, we got the Vikings and the Bills next.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, Vegas is not favoring us. Let's just go ahead and be real about that.
You could make a strong argument that we're going to come out of the next 2 weeks 4-6. Like it's
right. So you say 4-6 coming out of Vikings Bills, and then you've got the Jets after that. So that could be we could get our shit together after
Jets
the Jets
have a really good. Jets have a good
defenses.
defense though. Yeah. It's
and always do, because that's still the Robert Saleh defense. Let's not forget that. Even though he's gone from the team, that's still the Robert Saleh defense. So let's say we drop to the Jets and we're gonna lose to the Lions. The Lions are an awesome team right now. Huh?
That's what I'm saying. Speaking of Robert Saleh, Gus Bradley sucks.
Yeah. Hey, what's
come
up,
on over, Robert.
What's up? You want to make a mid-season change? Yeah. I think just him alone would be good. So, so let's say we lose to the Jets, who's got an elite defense. So what's that, 4-7? Yep. And then you got the Lions. So now 4-8, because we're not beating. I'm sorry, guys. We're not beating the Lions. The Lions are fucking awesome.
And I'm gonna toot my own damn horn. But on this AFC South show, I said Lions were going to win that game 49-9. And I wasn't even really kidding when I said it. They won 52-14, so it wasn't quite the 40 points that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But, I'll take 38.
They beat the break. Yeah, they beat the brakes off of Dallas. Then they turned around and beat the brakes off of Tennessee.
Yeah.
So I know you boys in Tennessee are sour right now. We lost to the Texans by 3 points. All right, we lost, but 3 points.
Lost by a combined 5 points to the Texans. That's
y'all motherfuckers lost y'all soul against the Lions.
that was brutal.
So past the Lions, right? So let's say we drop the next 5 games. That's gonna suck. First off, I'm not gonna lie about that. So we drop the next 5 games. Patriots, Broncos, Titans, Giants, Jaguars, all winnable games. So we could close out with a 5-win streak. There's no reason why we can't. We could beat those teams. But man, the next 4 or 5 games are gonna suck for Anthony Richardson. He's gonna have to. We're definitely gonna see. What are they? How's that saying go? The trial by fire. We're definitely about to see that.
Yeah, it's really gonna tell if he's the future of this franchise or not. Like you got hurt last year, but you had the season to sit back, let the game slow down and learn it. You had a couple of games this year to do the same behind Flacco. You've had Flacco embracing that mentorship role, because you already know that Minshew, he was playing to be a starter again this year. He had that on his mind. He's
still ambitious, yeah.
Joe Flacco was like, I want to usher in this new era of quarterback. That's where Flacco's at.
Joe don't give a fuck. No. Joe's collecting a paycheck, and if you need him to throw a few passes, cool.
Yeah. So but he's not out there like, I am expecting to lead a team to a Super Bowl. It'd be cool if I did, but I'm not. It's not my expectation. When he came to Indianapolis, I don't know how many offers he had, but I'm sure it wasn't like I am definitely winning a Super Bowl for the Colts. Like that wasn't on his. That probably wasn't on his radar when he came here. So
no, he's probably thinking I'm gonna win some and I'm gonna sit back and relax. They got a good young star.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not working out, Joe.
It's not working out, Joe. We might need you, but yeah, these will be a really telling few games for Anthony Richardson. I think he did play well against Houston in game one, and it's just been kind of downhill from there. It really has, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, we can't get hung up on that big game. You got to realize, like, we're kind of seeing right now what he is today. Okay, understand this, Colts fans. This is who he is today. Next year, 3-4 games from now, the dude could come out of his shell and just light the world on fire. But today, this is what we're talking about, Anthony Richardson today, people. Okay, we're not sitting here hating, saying he's always going to be bad, he's above. We're not saying that. But what we're seeing today is not what we thought we were getting. But
all I'm saying is
time.
This is a bad look.
Yeah, right. Oh man, you can't ever take that back. And that's the thing, you can't take it back.
That's all anyone's going to talk about. He's going to have to come out of the game. That's all the shit they're going to talk about at this point. Like soon as you do this, you're asking for it. And
some guys in the locker room after the game, they were saying like, "Oh no, we're still with Anthony. He's our guy, whatever like that." But no, now we know that's just talk, right? If you are feeling sour about a player, now some players don't give a shit. Some players are going to tell you what they feel no matter what. But I mean, these are players like Buckner, Miley Cox. Buckner is a professional. We've seen him in the past, very professional. So he's not. Even if you have lost him, he's not going to tell the media that.
Yeah.
He might talk to you behind closed doors, but you gotta be real about it. Yeah, there may be some people still riding with Anthony right now. But there's probably a lot of people in that locker room that are like, man, we need to go to Joe, man. That corner of the locker room, they're sitting there talking with their chairs like, hey, well, all the little gossipy, we need
They're
Joe.
Sitting on the sideline, man.
So,
and it's probably mostly the defense. They're probably whispering like, man, I know we're going to have to get right back on this field. And then you see the quarterback, third down.
Yep.
It's just
straight bitch move.
Bro, are you kidding me?
Because you're tired. In
the Matt Ryan year, DeForest Buckner was playing through like 4 injuries in a lost season. And he still didn't come out of a fucking game. He could have just said, I'm shutting it down for the year. I'm going on IR. There's no reason.
If you're tired, bro, audible to a run play.
Yeah.
Okay, take a play off, audible to a run play or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Now forever.
So now DeForest Buckner, who played in those meaningless goddamn games with Matt Ryan as the quarterback, sees his 22-year-old, supremely athletic, talented Anthony Richardson. Bro, in Buckner's mind, he's going, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You ran for 45 yards this game.
Yeah, what you tired for, bro?
Well, how you tired?
No, but like we said, he's got a lot to prove, man. And this game, not just with the incompletions, but the tapping out and all that, and then making at the press conference, giving yourself the excuse of, I've only played 2 games. Like, he didn't help himself. He took a lot of steps back this week, and it sucks for him. Hopefully his confidence is still there. I don't know. I can't really get a read on it. But because I feel like he's just saying what he needs to say, right? But yeah, that's Anthony's got a lot of making up to do, and for me, and I know I'm not the only one. We were at NRG like we talked about, and a lot of Colts fans were like, yeah, it's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be rough. But we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm down to ride until the 26 draft, the 26 offseason.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens, man. I'll give you next year, but don't break my heart, bro, please.
So I'll say the positives. There was a lot of bad in this game, particularly at quarterback, a lot at play calling, and they still only lost by 3 away to the Texans. So there were positives in this game. And if you just look at the stats here, again, Anthony Richardson, 10 of 32, quite a few drops. So let's just say that he still only would have completed 50% of his passes, which isn't great. Jonathan Taylor had a really good day on the ground. And then you get to the receiving, and this is where all those issues start to come in. You see Josh Downs, 4 catches, 109 yards, 1 touchdown, almost a second. Hell of a catch. It wasn't quite like that. What was that? OBJ, but it was very reminiscent of it. It wasn't one-handed, but it was still a beautiful catch.
Yeah.
So it was a really good catch. It was just short of the goal line.
And they could have. I get it, man. Like
he was down.
He was just
down.
short.
Just short.
Get it. But fuck, man, let that boy have that touchdown. That's an ESPN moment right there, dude. You just took his ESPN top 10 away.
Yeah, it's still a top 10 catch. I don't give a shit. Like, but Josh Downs.
Yeah, I'm glad we at least got the touchdown after that. But
yeah, like Michael, everybody else had 1 catch behind him. Pittman 16 yards, Sermon 14, Taylor 12, Pierce 11. He had a drop. Adonai Mitchell almost had that touchdown, but he finished with 1 for 9, and then Granson 1 for 4. Mallory dropped the pass. Goodson dropped it.
Yeah, Mallory dropped 2.
Mallory dropped 2. Yeah.
Well, he dropped 1, and the second one wasn't catchable. But Pierce was getting open.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are at his feet. I mean, I get it. Rich under duress and stuff like that. But like, you're one of those mobile quarterbacks, right? So you should be able to throw on the run. So that's kind of your MO, right?
The last offensive thing I wanted to talk about was about Anthony Richardson and the play calling, that final drive of the game. I think Alec Pierce dropped one on that drive. I can't remember. I think Pittman dropped one on the same drive, just trying to get into field goal range to try and tie the game with 30 seconds left or whatever it was. Richardson had a good run to kind of set him up to pretend like. I wouldn't say that he wasn't trying. It was just there was a lot of frustration in this, but he put them in a position to maybe get into that field goal range. Drive ended at the 50, 1 second left. And I'm sitting there going, you know what? I already know how this is going to end. It's either going to it's not going to work. Like, I know Anthony Richardson can get it to the end zone, but the odds of a Hail Mary, unless if you're Aaron Rodgers for some reason, is like 1% success, maybe less. So I'd say, hey, you have one of the highest paid kickers in the NFL. We know he's got a big leg. He's probably not going to make a 67-yarder, but fuck it. At least you tried for the tie. Like,
you're not going to get in the end zone and a touchdown. Like, fuck it, try and tie it up, go overtime. You're probably going to lose anyway. So if he misses it, you fucking lost. You still lost.
And people in the crowd were quiet. I'm like, kick the field goal. You want them to kick a 67? Yes. And then sure enough, they ran the play. Somehow they brought 3 rushers. They still got to Anthony Richardson. I don't know how that happens, but he takes the sack instead of putting the ball up. I'm like, that's some Curtis Painter shit, man. I don't understand it, but at least if you go for the field goal, there's probably not going to make it, but there's the chance.
Chances are low, but you're saying there's a chance.
But there's a chance. We had no chance going for the Hail Mary, but oh well.
No.
But the defense, obviously, the bright spot. They were they forced what? I'm not even going to count the touchdown against them. There at the end of the first half, I'm not even going to count that against them. So really, they let up what? 1 touchdown and 3 field goals. I'll take that all day from the defense.
Defense definitely kept us in the game. This one could have got out of hand. Even with them not having Nico Collins, it could have gotten out of hand. Bill Mixon once again fucking killed us on the ground.
Yeah, like I'll take 16 points, especially Joe Mixon had about the same amount of yards as Taylor on more carries, so he was a little less effective than Taylor. So I'm not too mad about that.
It seemed like every other couple plays, man, you just see Mixon just getting 4 or 5 yards a chunk, and it's like, damn, man, we doing this shit again?
Yeah. And Dalton Schultz really hadn't done shit all season. I kind of felt that this was going to be a good game for him. It was. He picked up a lot of critical first downs. Diggs had a really good. He came out injured. I'm not really sure what it was. I know he went out through the tunnel. I don't know what the injury was, but hopefully it's nothing. I actually like Diggs, so I'm not. I wouldn't wish injury on anybody, but Tank Dell, he got the touchdown there at the end of the first half. That was really just a pick 6, but. Yeah, I would say overall, the Colts defense is the reason that this was even close. close to a close game. So there were some bright spots, not a lot, but there were some. Was it Odeyingbo sack had that? He had the fumble
Yeah,
recovery
that was
too, didn't he?
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So, Latu, I think he created a lot of pressure, but he didn't record anything in the stat column.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
I mean, just one QB hit, but that really is nothing.
Of course, Franklin's back out there with 11 tackles, just kind of getting back to what Zaire does best. So there are some bright spots. Of course, DeForest Buckner coming back. He had a sack in the game, so it's good to have him back.
We talked about Grant Stewart last week having an ungodly amount of tackles and stuff. And I saw he was out there this week. So he definitely made a name for himself, and I like that. Good for him. He didn't really make a huge impact on anything, but he was around the ball. Every time you saw that hair flying, like he was there. He just wasn't the one making all the tackles. Zaire Franklin was, he was the one making the tackles. But
EJ Speed had a decent game. Who I talked about it last week. There was a dumbass in a Colts forum that that said that Grant Stewart should be starting over EJ Speed, and EJ Speed blocked him on X. It's like, you stupid asshole. But EJ Speed
I
remember
you saying that.
Yeah. So there was some good, but man, they're gonna have to, and I'm getting tired of saying it. They got to lean on their offensive line, and they're gonna have to rely on Jonathan Taylor. Having Anthony Richardson should only be passing like 15 times a game. That's really where you draw the line at.
We're gonna have to tailor the offense a little bit. I mean, no pun intended, but we're gonna have to tailor the offense.
Yeah.
Keep it pretty 50-50, I think.
In a tie game, 10-10, it's a 3-point game. The final. There's no reason for Anthony Richardson, who is completing less than half of his passes, to throw 32 times. There's just no reason for it. Jonathan Taylor's having a good day. You didn't see any Trey Sermon rushes. You didn't see any Goodson rushes. Goodson had been pretty effective on the ground. If you don't want Taylor to have more than 20, that's fine. But that's why you have a backup. That's why you have Goodson. You take some of those snaps. So, but 26 carries and 20 of them came from Jonathan Taylor. That's not the way shit should be. So, and I'm preaching this. I've been saying it every week, and they keep dropping him back 30 plus times. That's just not going to win you games right now. So
no, not that. Like I said, not Anthony Richardson right now is not the 30 pass attempts guy. If you have to lean more on Jonathan Taylor, that's fine. Give Trey Sermon like 5 of them or whatever like that. Because the man needs a break at some point. He actually has a reason to be fucking tired.
Yeah. I expect 30 plus pass attempts in a game where you're losing by at least 10 through most of the game. That's where I'd expect at least 10 attempts coming from Anthony Richardson, but having him throw 30.
It was close the whole time.
Yeah.
At no point in this game was it out of hand. Like, we got to play catch up. At no point was a game like that.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, so we lost the first game by 2 points. We lost this by 3 points. So the games are winnable. When they're that close, when they're within one score, they're easily winnable. Yeah, so there's little factors that we need to take into account, and the coaching is taking into account. What are we missing here? And that's what you need to address.
The ability to close a game. We've had, again, like you said, 2 points to the Texans, 3 points to the Texans, so that's a combined 5 points. We lost to the Packers by 6, and you lost to Jacksonville by 3.
Yes. Not horrible. These are not things to be. These are not things to just be upset about. The loss, yes.
14 points. Our 4 losses were lost by a combined 14 points. Dagger in the heart, man. That's an inability to win close games.
We're there.
Yeah.
We are there. We got to close them out, like you said, man. We got to close them out.
Yeah. Oh, well. I think that's a good place to stop. I know I'm going to have to hop onto this AFC South show and talk more about this rough game. But
Curtis is going to be super happy to talk football this weekend.
Oh, he's going to argue with me when I start bitching about the refs again, but that's fine.
Give Isaiah my love over there.
But if you're still here, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you don't do anything. Make sure you head over to Kingmaker_DFF, get your fantasy football fix in. And as always, we always appreciate the support. And we'll see you probably drop it Thursday. as we preview the Sunday night football game against the Vikings. Looking forward to it. We'll see you all there. Be good people. Let's go Colts, baby.